just imagine this: you're on a team, let's say it's a football team or a business, like a team in a business. You all know that there is some task that you all have to do, and you also know that there is a easier but quote unquote wrong way of doing it, and there's a more difficult quote unquote hard, like, right way of doing it. So there's a hard right way of doing it, but there's also an easier path slash shortcut way of doing it, which is wrong. But um, then you have like a lot of people, like if there's multiple people actually doing it, you have this scenario where you all know that you have to do it, or that's what you should do, but you're all tempted to do, take the easier path, like the path of least resistance, which is obvious because it's just built in us to take shortcuts whenever we think there are shortcuts. But then you have like, if you split that scenario into two different scenarios, where you have scenario A, where one person takes initiative and actually does that more difficult right thing, then it's way easier for other people to actually follow that, because most people, according to human psychology and like psychology and human behavior, we don't like to be first at doing stuff because it's risky and we quote unquote could die doing it, like trying and failing if we would have failed. So then it becomes easier to actually do the thing. But in scenario B, however, one person does it the easier way, which is quote unquote the wrong way of doing it. Then it also becomes easier, or like harder, to do the right thing to do, and easier to choose that easier path, which is also the wrong way. So that's like where laziness is, like, that's where like being disciplined is being really set on a test, to be honest. And that's where a lot of people show how lazy they are. I'm sorry. By actually taking the path of least resistance, even though they know it's not the thing that they should do. Which is, at the end of the day, it's just like you don't respect yourself to the degree where you actually do the right choices that you know it's true, like that you know you should do. But it is how it is. But however, it's like when you're in these scenarios, I just want you to try at least to, you might not succeed, but just try and like remember back to this video, or remember back to the thought of like, try not to be lazy, like try to do the right thing. Try to do the right thing, even how hard, like difficult and hard it is to do the less wrong thing, like less wrong thing. And again, like saying less wrong is another way of kind of making it easier for yourself to choose the easier path, but calling it less wrong instead of wrong, or like less right, I mean. So it's like, just try and not be lazy. That's the end. Like, that's kind of everything I wanted to say, like in very short and simple terms. I just, to be honest, I just pretty much just overcomplicated it all, but I think it's a good way of demonstrating it in a little bit of a scenario. Like, you have this team and it's easier to take the easier path if one person actually like, just imagine that you are the person now taking the initiative of actually choosing which direction you want to take your team through, or like take your team in. So yeah, that's pretty much like what's top of mind right now and what I want to talk about. And yeah, but again, what I always promote, which is what I will continue to promote, which is just do what the fuck you want to do. Just do what the fuck you want to do. And also remember that if you don't like your life, or like if you're not satisfied, let's say, put it like that, just remember that you'll continue to get what you you've always gotten if you continue to do what you always do, which is another way of saying to get what you've never gotten, you have to do what you've never done. So it just makes sense that if you want it to change, just do something else, to be honest, or like just try another path. So the best way of doing that is like just, you could either add something, you could replace something, or you could remove something. So if your life is if you're not satisfied, you could try to do one of these three things. And if your life in a little period of time afterwards is better, you just keep it that way and add something, replace something, and remove something else but that thing you just added or removed or whatever. And then and then if your life gets negatively impacted from that change, just revert it, like reverse it, I mean, because most things are reversible. And like when it comes to habits, most of them are 100% reversible. Some are harder and more difficult than others, but they 100% are reversible. So yeah, that's always something I want to promote, which is just do what the fuck you want, and try to make a change, like any change, if you want your life to improve. So that's kind of why I'm making these videos, and this video specifically, because I just do what the fuck I want, because I think that I could help some people out there just spark a little thought, just spark a little curiosity, or like spark a little reflection in their own lives by talking about these things, which will then hopefully impact them positively throughout their lives. Which is like, if I can change someone's life in a slightly positive way by just making this video and making people think and reflect a little bit more, that's everything I want to do. So yeah, that's kind of why I'm making this. And I'm also making it for myself to kind of reflect and think about my own life as well. So yeah, just to recap, try not to be lazy, but again, do what the fuck you want. But if you think that your life is not a place where you want it to be, just try not to be lazy and see how it goes. From there, you can go back. You can always go back. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. I appreciate it.